Put the fucking mic on.
You want to ride longer?
Who doesn't?
Are you tired of your sore and achy ass?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to the law-abiding biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Lurch has got some stuff for y'all in the law-abiding biker store. Adding products faster than we can announce them.
Lickety split, as one might say.
Lickety split.
Which we've looked up on the internet, and that means really fast.
Really fast.
To just mention some heated gear you've asked for, we've added it to the store. We are excited. Well, first of all, we've got First Gear heated gear in there, used for a long time by the law-abiding biker crew. In addition to that, many of us have Gerbing gear, but we were unable to get any Gerbing gear to bring it to the store, and finally, we're able to bring it through one of our distributors. So check it out, Gerbing gear, First Gear, heated gear. This podcast is coming out the first part of January, so start the year off right, extend your riding season, get yourself a nice heated jacket, maybe some pants, gloves, whatever you think you need, and get out there and ride.
Don't do what Lurch did and
do not
head to Death Valley and think, well, the weather's going to be hot in Death Valley. I don't need heated gear. If you watch our recent documentary film that was just released, which is A Journey to the Hottest Place on Earth, Our Adventure to Death Valley, Part 1 is out on the YouTube channel. And within you will see Lurch in a hypothermic state.
We left early because we wanted to get down to Death Valley before it got too hot down there. And I
left early as far as the month that we left, yes.
Yeah, we left earlier in the year, so we left in May, if I recall right, instead of June or July like we normally do. And there was some cold weather on one of the passes on the way down there, and I froze my giblets off. Snow. It was actually snowing. Mm-hmm. The road was bare and wet, but it was snowing, and I really wish I had my heated gear in there. At that time, I had battery heated gear. I just didn't take it because I didn't think I need it. After that, I learned. I'm not the smartest guy, but I do say, you really can tell a person by how they learn from their mistakes. And I learned from that one. I went and got a battery. Mine is First Gear, but I plan on changing over to Gerbing now that we can get them. But I have a plug-in jacket that stays on my bike all the time now. I don't take that thing off of it.
Yeah, buddy. And so we did, interesting. I am just lurching. Where's our sidebar? I'm looking at our website here because I was going to here it is. Interesting. It's not displaying right there. Anyways, so we did a full podcast on heated gear, didn't we?
Yes,
is it out yet?
It is not out yet.
Okay. All right. So with that said, that's the only reason I wanted to bring that up, guys.
It was going to be next, but we're pushing this one out first. So it'll most likely come out the middle to end of January, somewhere in there.
With that said, I'm not going to talk a lot more about Gerbing gear, but it is superior. And that is a complete breakdown of gear I've used, gear we've used, what I like, what breaks, what works, what lasts, price points. I mean, it's really going to be an evergreen episode. Very stoked to have that Gerbing gear listed in the law-abiding biker store. Bikeaholics calling you. Guess what? Sero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Sero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Sero 3D products. All right, let's face it, fools. All right, I don't mean to turn you off right away. You're not a fool. The stock front and rear suspension on Harley-Davidson motorcycles and many other brands is basic at best, offering only a mediocre level of performance and comfort. Upgrading the suspension should be the first modification, as it will make the most significant difference in the comfort and, yes, performance of your Harley. Now, having ridden thousands of miles in various environments and tested many different suspensions here over the past 14 years, I can confidently say that Wilbers is the best choice for a touring application. And I might add, even a non-touring application. It's hard to describe really, but riding with a Wilbers kit feels like cruising down the road on a sofa, smooth and comfortable. And without that floaty feeling. The rebound is dialed into perfection, while others stand to absorb shocks. Yes, while other riders, I should say, stand to absorb shocks. I don't have to. I can stay seated. I just watch them. I watch them stand when they're getting ready to go over bumps. Don't have to do that. I just stay on my seat. Thanks to the superior performance of the front and rear Wilbers kit. It's so impressive that I decided to feature it in the Law-Abiding Biker store. Plus, the listing includes a complete installation video. Get Wilbers in the Law-Abiding Biker store, and we will take care of you. We are a small bootstrap company of bikers helping bikers. We're the ones who will take the order. Lurch, Oscar, they'll hook you up, and we'll have it on your doorstep in about 7 days. We have a complete install video at the bottom of that Wilbers listing, whichever kit you need based on your year, make, model. No tax, remember, if you don't live in Washington State. That's a huge savings and free shipping, of course, because it's over $100. 2 ways you can save right in the Law-Abiding Biker store and get yourself awesome suspension that you will rest easy at night. You'll close your eyes with a shit-eating grin on your face after riding on your Wilbers all day. There's options for many years and models. Use the store contact form if you don't see an option for your bike. That's just over at the store, lawabidingbiker.com/store, and you can hit the contact button right at the top menu, and you can get a hold of the guys. And again, it's bikers helping bikers. You're talking to guys that live, eat, breathe, and believe in this suspension. And we have been selling a lot of it. And the feedback we get on that, guys, I would tell you different, like not one complaint. I mean, to date, everybody is like, yep, that was worth every penny. Then after you get good suspension, then you can go get your air intake and, you can prioritize from there, but that will greatly improve your touring motorcycle. One of the best investments that you can make, and we will get you guys hooked up. Welcome back, you freaky deaky bikeaholics. This is the podcast, of course, for the motorcycle majority, the big MM, also known as the
99%.
That's right. We are large and in charge of the motorcycle scene more than any time in history. By being here and listening, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
We have just one question for you before we get started. What are you waiting for, bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
There you go. Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
All right, so kicking episode. It is time sensitive. So this past weekend, let me just tell you what it is. So Harley just did their first release of the 2025 Harley touring models. We're going to talk about it. There's actually a lot more than meets the eye. And also in this episode, we are going to not only, talk about what was released and some of the pros, the cons, as you can tell from the title. We've got some pricing things we need to talk about, some added and or lack of options. We're going to give it to you straight. Some is positive, some may be negative. And then towards the end, we actually have some information, some leak stuff. And then also we are going to give based on some, I'll just put it this way. There'll be calculated predictions.
Okay.
Based on Lurch and I. Now, with that said, I just want to say up front, we did do I did a video over the weekend. It's Monday as of the time of this recording. I popped it out on YouTube. It's very succinct, and I go through a lot of this. It is getting an amazing amount of views. even though I was about 3 days later than some channels, I appreciate everybody's support for coming to my channel and hearing it kind of the way I present it. So thank you so much. If you haven't seen that, make sure you head over to the Law Abiding Biker YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, bell icon when you're there so you get notified when I come out with new videos, because we've got more coming here we're going to talk about in 2025. This is just the first soft launch, I'll call it. And, but that's what we're going to talk about. So there's actually a lot here, guys. If you think it's rather boring by some of the YouTube channels you've seen, well, that's just because they didn't really dig in. There's actually, if you dig into this stuff, it's actually quite fascinating, and intriguing in a lot of ways on what is going on. So, I was going to do this voicemail up front, but I think we're just going to do it right now. And, let's go ahead and play this voicemail.
Hi, my name is Joe. I have a 2016 Harley-Davidson Street Glide. I had recently got a new iPhone 15. I'm having a problem getting the Bluetooth to work from the iPhone 15 to the stock Boombox radio system. I was wondering if anyone has had this problem with the new phone. Thank you.
I just want to say something real quick. You're not alone. I will say that. Matt also right here, Lurch, had the same issues. So I suggested to him that you turn your phone on first. And once it's powered on, then you'll probably get a blue. I'm teasing. No, thank you so much for the voicemail. I think Lurch is going to answer this one. Who sent this? Joseph.
I think his name's up there.
Poitamani.
I would say Poitamani.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Poitamani. All right. Thank you so much for leaving us a voicemail. Lurch, what do you have for this here?
Well, it's technology and it can be challenging for some, but even if it's
good answer, we're done.
Even if it's not, there can just be glitches and things. And so the first thing that we always recommend everybody do is make sure that they got their Boombox updated to the most recent version of the software, operating software, and also make sure that your iPhone or whatever phone you're using has the most recent updates, and then try it again. If that fails, then the next step that we recommend is to set your radio back to factory, do a factory reset on it, and then update it to the most recent version. And generally speaking, that will handle the issue. With that said, the Boombox, unfortunately, the 14 through 16 is a pretty old version, and Harley hasn't had an update for in a long time. And as we move along, first of all, I want to say that we haven't seen this problem yet. And nobody else has reported, so it's probably something in the software, and those fixes should take care of it. But as we go on, those aren't going to be supported anymore, and it's going to get to a point where I think these phones will, at some point, just outpace that older system. But for now, it should work fine. There's just something glitching there. Make sure you're updated, and reset it to factory if you need to, and then update it, and it should work.
I would also say that. Just for discussion purposes, I don't know how you're doing it because you didn't explain to us what steps you've tried. Here's what I would tell you. I've been helping bikers since 2014. Yeah, when the first Boombox came into existence.
Would you suggest getting our tutorial video?
I would, and it'll probably solve the problem. I think, and I don't say this like to you jab at the caller or anything. I think it's probably if your software is up to date on both, which it will be, you just bought a 15. I would say that
the Boombox may have not been updated.
Correct. In a while. No, I'm talking about the iPhone.
Gotcha.
So because it's a 15. So with that said, the Boombox may need to be updated, but I'm fairly confident because I've handled these over many, many years, emails and calls like this, and I always will just point you directly to our very popular YouTube videos series. Because once I do that and somebody gets the video, they email back and say, "Oh yeah, I didn't realize I needed to do this or that. Thank you for sending me the video." So please, here's very simple. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/Harley Boombox, all one word. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/Harley Boombox. No dashes, no spaces, all one word. You'll see a series of videos there. It's a landing page, and one of the couple of the videos is for the year unit, which is, pre-19. I assume, did he say
2016?
2016. So yeah,
he's got the GT.
So you're the 6 GT. It's right there. The 6.5 GT. I guarantee you get that tutorial video. and there's a series if you want to take it even further and learn Ride Planner and how to update software. If you don't know how to update your software, then you need to do that first, like Lert said, and we have a video for that. It's all over on that page, and it will get you through it. The most popular Boombox videos out there, and again, we've been doing it for 14, and people love our tutorial videos there. And of course, if you have the newer Boombox 19 and newer, which is the GT unit, there's a full tutorial video over there for that too. And then of course, if you have 24 or newer, 23 and a half, the new bikes with the new complete digital dash and infotainment control unit that came out in 24 on the street and road glides, that video is there, and it's getting a ton of good feedback too. We've been doing it a long time. That's a little over 10 years. 11 now. So yeah, go grab over there, grab those videos. I guarantee you will get up and running and get rid of your frustration so you can get out and ride. Okay. We do thank you for the voicemail there very much. lawabidingbiker.com/contact. It's that simple. You can leave a voicemail, which he did, right from your computer microphone for free. Very simple. And you can leave an email over there too. But we love hearing your voices. And you can do it from a phone too. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. You simply leave us your voicemail. And we actually respond to those voicemails. We play them here, but Lurch probably gave that same verbal response right back to him. So he'll get an email, bam, and he hits a link, and then he can listen to our responses. It's a very nice service that we offer. So yeah, take advantage of that over there, guys.
I thought about playing my response to after his, and I thought, well, that'd be weird. We could just talk about it.
Right.
I started editing it and cleaning it up, and I went, no, why don't we just answer that? But yes, we did answer him.
And add to it, yeah. Don't forget, guys, 2025, I know a lot of you made a New Year's resolution, and I know that your New Year's resolution, and we know it is that you're going to become a patron member of Law Abiding Biker Media. The first thing you should have thought about at the strike of midnight on December 31st was, within the first 2 weeks of January 2025, I have to get signed up as a patron member. I've been putting it off. I've been consuming a lot of content. I like what they're doing. I want to get benefits. I want to get in the private Facebook group community. I want to have a forum. I want to have bikers to connect with. I want to be able to ride wherever I want and have connections. I want to see, videos, tutorial videos. I want to get access to the live video broadcast and chat with us and hang out with bikers. And I really want to make it a year of connecting with like-minded bikers, safe community, troll-free zone. I want to go to the patron meetup in Canada. I want to ride up there. I want to see those guys, whatever the case may be. That's just a few of the benefits. And I want a shirt. I want stickers, all that kind of stuff, guys, So I would ask you to get over there ASAP over at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. That's Patreon. And you can see, basically become a member by signing up for a monthly subscription, and you can choose the level of benefits that you want to receive. So we really want to ramp that up in 2025. We have big things coming in 2025 for you guys. We were just, in fact, today, we can't reveal a lot of it yet, but we were on the phone with some important people, and we're ramping things up in 2025. And the more support we can get via patron members, I've always said it, the more things we can do, the more services we can provide, the more we can connect the community. So thank you so much to all of our longtime and new patron members. We hope to see you getting signed up here in 2025 for big things. Okay, so main topic, guys. That's right. The new 2025 Harley touring models released. Virtual launch is coming. So let me clean that up a little bit. So here's what happened. The much anticipated, of course, January 2nd reveal, guys. So this is about, what day are we on? This is the 6th that we're recording this. It'll be out tomorrow on the 7th. It is time sensitive. So Harley, just like usual, some of you got emails and stuff, and hey, the new 25 lineup has sparked, here it is. It's on the website. Well, anyways, since that release, of course, it sparked a mix of excitement and curiosity within the motorcycle community, the Harley community specifically. Now, only at this time, 6 new models were unveiled on the website. But of course, more are expected to be announced during the virtual launch later this month. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So we're going to break down, what's currently known, including pricing changes or lack thereof, and predictions for the full lineup. I do want to announce very quickly, and let me get here. I know off the top of my head, so here's what I suggest doing. Let me get this. So when the actual launch event, the big one, so we all know, I call this a soft launch. It's basically, it's models that have carried over from 2024 without any significant changes mechanically or cosmetically. And I mean paint. Paint's the only thing that changes, basically. That is a cosmetic. But anything really mechanically or design engineering wise, these bikes that were released look exactly the same as the 24 models, except for paint. All right. So one of the Trikes got a little bit of a bump. We'll talk about that. That's essentially it. So I call it a soft launch. And this is the way Harley's done it since COVID, which I'm really glad. One thing COVID changed was this, because the way it used to be is Harley in August would only invite dealership people from dealerships and stuff to go see the new bikes. And the public, it was kind of an old school way to do it. It was dumb in my opinion, because, places like Apple were doing this for years. Your dealers aren't the one that should see this. You need to get this out to the public, and then they expected their dealers to try it. It just doesn't work. And so they were missing a huge customer base. So they took charge when it was COVID, and they decided, well, we can't be together, so let's do a virtual launch. And they started kind of doing what Apple does. And so now we get these virtual launches, which is really, really cool. And they started, of course, involving places where their community actually is, which is here in the podcast space and YouTube, for lack of a better term, influencers and or, people that are known within the motorcycle community for expertise. So that's where we're at. And so they're going to do the same thing. They're going to carry that tradition. And so that event, you'll want to mark it on your calendars, is set for January 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, January 23rd, 2025 at 5 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And so on their YouTube channel, that's when they do it. They'll also have, embedded on their website. You could watch it from there, but it's really just a YouTube embed. But here's what I'll tell you to do right away. Head over to harleydavidson.com. Here's what I do. And when you do that, at the top banner, there's scrolling banners, and there's about 5 of them. And I would go to and scroll through to where it says new touring bikes are rolling in. And I'm going to go back here to where it says more 2025 bikes arriving soon, and then hit the get notified button. It's huge right there on the banner. From here, you'll enter your name, email, phone number, some other stuff, and answer a couple little questions, and then you'll submit it. You're signing up for the email. From there, you'll get notified of the new, when they put out, because they haven't, as of the time of this podcast, actually, they don't have a page for it, and they don't have an email out, so there's nowhere you can go. So you'll get an email with a link directly to, that's how they've done it in the past. I've signed up that way, and they've sent me an email, and then you have a link. So come the day, you can just hit the link. It'll take you, to their page in the YouTube, where the YouTube video is embedded in there. You can watch the live virtual launch. Of course, if you missed the virtual launch, it will be on replay. A couple ways I just wanted to mention real quick. So, Lurch, I've been talking a lot. Do you want to mention, why don't you do the initial reveal soft launch bikes that we're going to be talking about?
So the first ones that they've got out now, actually on the website, if you look at them, they are the Street Glide, the Road Glide, the Road King Special, and those, like Ryan said, there's not a lot of main changes. There is some color changes and some pretty cool ones that we'll get into as we kind of walk through the bikes. In addition to that is the Freewheeler, the Tri Glide Ultra, and the Road Glide 3. The latter, the last 3 there, the Trikes, don't have a lot of change. They still have the old fairings. Ryan mentioned one significant change on one of them, so we'll get into that. But so far, that's the only 3 bikes that they've made any announcement on, which isn't terribly well. The Road Glide, the Street Glide are not terribly surprising because they were, did the major change last year. But I'm still surprised not to see any fairing changes on the Trikes yet, to be honest.
Yeah, that is an interesting topic as we get down to the trikes. We'll definitely talk about that. So we're going to go to bikes. I'm on the website. Again, if you want to go to the video, again, on YouTube, it's getting a lot of hits and it's pretty succinct.
Road glides rule.
Yes, street glides rule. You'll see that.
Road glides rule, yeah.
Right. There's now we'll get into that, but there's some special people. We just call them special, right? So we'll get into that.
It's a Ford Chevy kind of thing, you know.
There you
we
go.
like one or the other, so it's fun to tease each other about the Batwing or the Shark Nose.
So we will go down to the website, and I'm going to go to New Motorcycles Grand America Touring, and we're first going to cover the Road Glide Special. Okay,
Road King Special.
Road King Special. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So a couple things on the Road King Special, guys. This bike hasn't changed. I think off the top of my head, 2017 we really haven't seen any changes on the Road King Special. It's very much stayed the way it is. And to the dismay of a lot of you out there, and I totally understand. I have quite a bit to say on this. So let's do this. So we're looking at the 2025. Now, I have several things to say. So 2025 price $25,749. 2024 $24,999. So you're getting a 750, if my math is right, 750, yes, dollar price increase for the same exact bike. This is going to carry through to a couple models. We're going to talk about the pricing thing in a minute. But what I want to do here is, so this is the other thing. So the Road King Special is only available in black trim. So if you're a new listener, that term gets some people. Black trim means that the motor, the heads, the pipes, all of it's black instead of chrome. So your whole powertrain kind of is black. All right. And then of course your forks are black, and things like that. Your handlebars are black. It's trim. Yep. So not your skins, not your saddlebags or your tank or anything like that. Yeah.
And I think it's when the actual Road King itself went away and they just went with the special. I think and I'll do a little research as you're talking, but the Road King specials are ones that had the blacked out trim and the Road Kings had the chrome. And once the Road King went away, I think that's when you could only get the black trim, but I'll double check as you're talking.
Yeah. Interesting point. So here's what I say. Okay. This is one, let me first tell you. Okay. So black trim, let's get this out of the way. Black trim, of course, your colors base. If you want it for that base starting price, you got to get billiard gray, which is a cool looking color. Your other color option is vivid black for $500 more, and then add $700 for Whiskey Fire, which is my favorite. Why is it my favorite? Well, my 24 Street Glide that I bought is Whiskey Fire. I had to have that color. Amazing in the sunlight and kind of totally changes colors. It's one of those chameleon colors that changes in the sunlight and natural light and whether it's cloudy, but very, very cool color. So I love the look of the Road King. So here's one of my complaints. We're honest here on this podcast, and you'll see in my YouTube video too. A lot of the channels you'll just see, they just really gawk too much at Harley, and they never say anything negative. So it's hard to take a lot of their information seriously, if you know what I mean. I'm not out at just purposely bashing either, but I call it where I need to call it. And we're always going to be honest on the channel. That's why we're around 7 or 14 years later. And yes, I've done a podcast in the past. Yes, I'm fortunate. I get to test ride and review these things. It actually costs me money to go on those trips. We did a whole episode on that, didn't we, Lurch? Mm-hmm. Those trips actually cost me. I do it because I need the content for you guys, because it's kind of what you expect of me, and I'm a motorcycle channel. So I don't know why some of those other channels just gawk. Oh, it gets a little disgusting. They won't say anything bad. I have, and I continue to get invited because I think they see that I'm very fair, and I don't do it in a way that's trashy. I just call it, and I have a right to my opinions no matter what. So there you go. You'll get it different here. So it seems, I'll just tell you this right off the bat. Chrome guys are just cooler than black trim guys. No.
I'm a chrome guy.
I know. Yeah.
I'm torn. We'll have to see what bike I decide going with, and whether I land on a color that I got to have and it's in black. That would probably be the only reason I'd go with the black trim.
Well, you will, because you're one of those guys that's very insecure. All the Road Glide guys are. So if you're going to get a Road Glide, it's the trend.
Whatever.
Everybody's doing it. You want to be in the cool crowd. You don't want to be independent. You're going to get your Road Glide. And why not, if you're already, foolish enough and you want to, you shop at Lululemon and you got to have your little Road Glide and your little tee in your hand, then why not get black? Because everybody else is getting black and you can really be trendy and just look like every other Harley going down the road. This is all for fun, people.
I know. You can actually take that and just say Street Glide, and it'd mean the same thing, because for so long the Batwing was so popular, but the king of the baggers has pushed that Road Glide into the forefront right now.
The past is the past.
I had a Road Glide before they were cool.
Yep.
And I didn't like them at first. It was at 2015 when they changed the shape.
I loved it when they changed it.
Yeah, that changed my mind. Before that, I thought they were ugly. But as a tall rider, having that Road Glide is nice. It's the same bike essentially, other than for the listeners out there who don't know the difference. It's the same bike, other than the fairing is frame mounted and it's farther away from it. It's not quite in your face. You can rock your bars forward. It just feels bigger for a tall guy, right? And it looks great when you pull up to Lululemon with all the other guys sipping their tea in front of Lululemon with their black Road Glides. You just sound like a butthurt
so funny, dude.
Lover that's not cool anymore.
We are. That's the thing. You want to stand out from the crowd, you get a Street Glide. Yeah. You don't want to be in the.
Then why didn't you get a Road Glide back in the day?
I'm not with the trendy people. So anyways, again, I reiterate, Chrome guys are cooler and so are Street Glide guys. And
I gravitate towards Chrome, but we'll see in the end.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised. You're one that always goes with the trends because you're afraid of being liked.
That's true. Yeah, definitely. I like the look of the Chrome, and I like the ease to clean it. It takes rocks and stuff a lot better than the black painted stuff. But I have noticed it's harder to find Chrome aftermarket stuff. There's definitely a lot more black aftermarket stuff available,
which is my point.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. This is one of my nitpicks of Harley-Davidson. I'm not
before you get into that, I did research, and in 2023 is when the standard Road Glide went away. It was just Road Glide specials, and the specials were all black. So that makes me figure why in 24 and 25 they're only offering the special and it's only in black.
That is exactly more to my point. So thank you for looking that up. This is exactly my point, is that I'm not appreciative of is Harley-Davidson. Let's just say this. You're looking at a Road King here, folks. This is a classic. This is a traditional. If you look up Harley-Davidson in the dictionary, I swear to God, there's a picture of a Road King.
Yeah.
You've got all the guys that are, making them cholo bikes. And I mean, this bike has been in every biker gang movie in Hollywood. I mean, big old ape hangers, Mexican blanket rolled up on the front. I'll finish my point. This bike, it screams Harley-Davidson. And what screams Harley-Davidson more is chrome. It's not black. Yeah. Black was not traditional. So the fact that, and I get it, that's all for fun when I'm teasing Lurch and we're joking back and forth. Yeah. You're still not cool, but I'll stick to that. Okay. Anyways, I digress. Chrome, of all things, of one of your most classic bikes, you should not have gotten rid of chrome. That's actually pissed a lot of people off. There are a lot of us still that are traditional chrome guys. I bought my 24 Street Glide. It is chrome. If you like black, great. Again, I'm joking about all this, guys. I'm not that particular. We got to have fun here, and we got to, try to rile people up. That's half the fun. It keeps you awake. But you got to have the chrome option, especially on one of your most classic bikes of all time. I don't think that was a good move. It seems, unfortunately, Harley has been, over the last 2 years, to your point, Lurch, that they've really, unfortunately, been pushing black too much. It has become, in my opinion, way over trendy. There's way too many black bikes out there. They all look the same now. Us chrome guys, again, we actually stand out now. Same with the Street Glide guys a little more. No, it's not that, because like Lurch said, the Street Glide Batwing up until last year was, since the beginning of the Batwing fairing was the best selling model. So there's still plenty of those out there. But the fact that they're not supporting chrome as much, and especially for a classic like this, I think it was a bad move. Also, let me just talk about it now. aside from this bike, because it doesn't come in a chrome model, but all the other bikes we're going to talk about, when you click black instead of chrome, you're paying upwards of like $1,300 to $1,500 for black.
For something that costs less, by
Correct.
the way. Powder coating black parts cost a lot less than chrome in them.
Correct. So that doesn't make any sense to me. Chromers are hard to come by right now in the U.S. Because of all the EPA regulation. A lot of chromers have shut down. Like Lurch said, we're finding that. To have no doubt, Harley will make chrome bikes. They have big money and big pull, and they'll just farm it out even overseas if they have to, right? Because chromers don't follow all the same regulations in other countries. So we're not worried about that, so to speak, but it is amazing that they charge a premium for black, which is way cheaper to produce than something in chrome, because chrome is freaking expensive. So that's what I mean, that they're overly pushing black. The other thing I'll say about black, if you like it, cool. Again, it's just like, I don't want everybody to have chrome, but trust me, because you do you. Black is a lot harder. You should see what the forks do. I have a black forks on my Dyna Lowrider S. Within their first touring ride, you're going to have them all chipped up. They're going to have divots in them. It doesn't hold as well as chrome as far as keeping imperfections down. So
especially if you're putting miles on.
Right. If you're actually going to tour on it and actually put miles, and you're not going to put it in your garage and polish it. So anyways, I talked a lot there. Do you have any follow-up or pushback on anything I said there?
Well, just looking at the Road King in the special, particularly for 2025, it does have the classic Harley look. It just definitely gives nods to like the bike of the 50s, the FLs and those kinds of stuff. You watch the recent movie, the Bike Riders, that kind of looks like the bikes they were riding around, right? No fairing, no nothing on them, minus the bags maybe, but so it's getting to be one of the last classics bikes that has a classic. So
besides the Road Glide and Street Glide, but yes,
but I mean, way
non-fairing.
Back. I'm talking like way back.
Yeah,
this is nostalgic to way back.
That's
to
true.
Some of the beginnings, back to the 50s, that front end, and they start getting away from it by not offering chrome. I mean, it still has the shape and the look of it, but I think with chrome, it looks even more nostalgic. And so I'm kind of disappointed that it's not available in chrome. Yeah,
me too. I think it's a bad move. I hope they rectify that issue from feedback, but
I can tell you, I think it was, when did we go back to Milwaukee for the homecoming? Was that 22? I think it was 2022.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, I think it was. And I rode a new Road Glide special, and holy shit, that was fun. That thing ripped.
Yeah, they do.
Just got less weight on it,
Big old headlight nacelle.
Yeah.
They're just a classic. And I will say this too, and I know a lot of people were disappointed with this, is number one, we didn't get the engine upgrade. So not only did you not get chrome, you got a 114 again, so not the new 117 with cooled heads and all that. Additionally, you didn't get the skins, so you didn't get the new style saddlebags, fender, side covers, and all that tank that we saw in the new 24 Street Glide and Road Glide. So no redesign, and again, $750 more for the same exact bike. So that's a few little disappointments there. Again, I've got more to talk about on pricing in a moment. But let's just go ahead and get out of here unless there's anything else on the Road King.
I think we got that one.
So let's move on to the Street Glide. And again, why are we starting with the Street Glide? Because Street Glide guys are just plain cooler. No, I know you're arguing with me out there driving in your car, walking. No, I don't stop. You're not cool if you're riding a Road Glide. All right. Now I love all my Road Glide people. They're very special. And they just need a little extra attention. And the reason they need a little extra attention, that's the very reason they bought a Road Glide, because they need to feel trendy and like they fit in with all the Lululemon people. Okay. If you shop at Lululemon, by the way, they actually have some cool clothes.
But just a far superior design. That's why they use it for the King of the Baggers.
They make it for people like Lurch who are abnormal. The
Batwing didn't last very long in the King of the Baggers, if you notice.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, it didn't. So anyways, so that's why we're going to start with it. You definitely are uncool, Lurch, for riding a Road Glide, and all of you out there, if you want to, to feel like a man, I say throw a leg over a Street Glide and you won't quite feel. You probably will start shopping at places like Harbor Freight. You'll be buying, tools. You'll be, automotive shops, and you'll be at, again, Lululemon, drinking tea on your Road Glide.
Interesting that
Lurch is just like, he's gonna stop eventually.
I'm just like,
and I'm teasing all you Road Glide people. It's just, this is all for fun. I could give two craps. I actually love the Road Glide.
You're going to get into pricing, but I just noticed this. In 2024, they were both the same price. In 2025, it cost you $500 more to get a Road Glide.
Right.
What the hell?
Yep. That is what we're getting into a little bit more here, and I'll break that.
I said 500, like about 250.
What?
The price difference.
No, it's so yes, like
in 2025,
yes.
it's about $250.
We're a little bit ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
The audience doesn't. Yeah, so
shiny object. Yeah, I saw it. Right. I didn't bring it up.
But we will. What Lurch just said, we'll explain what he's talking about here in a moment. So we're looking at the Street Glide. Your base price in 2025, $27,749. All right. And if we pop over to 2024, you were at $25,999. That is a price increase of $1,750 for the same exact bike. All right. I know a lot of you right now are punching your steering wheel. You're backhanding your passenger, pulling their hair in frustration, throwing your coffee, punching the shop wall, throwing a tool. I want to give a little insight into that in a minute. Don't get so mad. There's actually, you can just get mad, obviously, but I always like to be educated and really put it in perspective on what's going on here. And I'm not trying to justify the price increases. I'll just say that up front. I have no reason to do that. I do these independently. We're doing this episode, of course, on our own. I did my video on my own with no input. So I have no reason to try to shield that. But I do, having reported and covered the industry and Harleys for so many years, I do have some insight that you may want to know. Hopefully it'll calm you down halfway.
Maybe a little.
Right. And I'll be the first to tell you guys, and I think Lurch will too, nobody likes price increases. They suck. The economy sucks right now. Inflation's up. It's out of control. Hopefully with new administration, it's on its way down. We're already seeing very positive things that the economy's doing. We run a store. We just see a lot of different stuff even before Trump is in office. So that we're seeing some positive signs, and we hope inflation and pricing of a lot of things will be going down too. So not necessarily saying Harleys, but things in general, which then you can save money and then you can pay for the extra money on the Harley, right? You won't be paying so much for groceries and gas and everything. So let's do this. $1,750. Luckily, the Street Glide, for all the cool guys, really double cool, is a chrome Street Glide. I just want to really hit that home. So you feel bad about yourself if you don't ride a chrome Street Glide. But it is available in chrome, which is very cool. And then, of course, if you want the black trim, you're going to pay another $1,350 on top of that base price. So here's another one of my complaints, and it goes back to my previous point, which is they're definitely pushing black trim over chrome, and they're taking it a step further here, which I am also not that happy about. Because chrome is traditional, okay? And they kind of need to keep that going. And I don't understand this, Lurch. I'll actually pose the question to you in a second here. But so let's talk chrome trim. Here's the colors. You've got, we'll break the colors down, but your base is billiard gray. All these are billiard gray. That's going to, if you want in at entry-level price, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get chrome with billiard gray. That's the lowest price 25 Street Glide you can get. And chrome, we're moving up to vivid black option for $600, white onyx pearl for $850, which we saw released last year in 2024. It's a beautiful color. Saw them in person down in Las Vegas when I went down to review these guys. And then we're moving up to Whiskey Fire. Again, we're on chrome trim. Whiskey Fire 850, my favorite for a reason. We've got Blue Burst for $850, plus $850, and then we've got Alpine Green. All right. Those are your...
I think you're looking at the 2024 colors there, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. I was wondering where it was. Yeah, sorry. And I was like, okay. So I digress. Chrome, we're going to go through the colors. Billiard gray, I was right on that, obviously. You've got vivid black for $600. You've got Atlas silver metallic, which is just a little bit lighter than the billiard gray. It's really cool. You've got
metallic instead of a flat.
Right. And Blue Burst at plus 850. You've got Brilliant Red at plus 850. And you've got Iron Horse Metallic. We'll talk about the colors and our thoughts in a second because we want to talk about this color, Iron Horse Metallic, and then plus 2,200 is Mystic Shift. We'll talk about the colors in a minute, all right? Because I want to stay on point here. So that's chrome trim. Those are your color options. Now, this is what makes me angry. I hit black trim, and all of a sudden, there's additional color options. Makes no sense to me why, if you're going to produce this paint and tanks, and I'm not a manufacturer, I'm not an engineer, I don't understand the manufacturing process, why would you take those color options away from chrome people who are your traditional, so to speak? And I know there's a lot of traditional hard riders that have switched to black, so I don't want to, get too in the weeds there, but I'm just saying.
Oddly enough,
do you have anything on that? Why that would be?
Oddly enough, they've done that for a while, going all the way back, and it's probably even farther. I can just specifically talk about my experience. When I bought my 2014, I wanted the silver. I don't remember what color it was at the time, but the silver Road Glide, and you could not get it in the special. You can only get it in the standard Road Glide, but I wanted a special, and so I couldn't get that color. Mm-hmm. I ended up with the Superior Blue. It's a great color, but that's not what I wanted. So they've been doing that for a while to try to separate the different models. This is strange though, with it being the only model, the Street Glide, that the only difference is the trim. And I agree with you. There's some pretty cool colors here that are not offered on the chrome bikes.
Yep. And so
Whiskey Firestorm.
So those,
Ghost Flames. I mean, why not offer that on chrome as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you don't really have a reason either, like in your head, like why would they do that? It's not like they're literally painting these things anyways. It's black trim.
I would say that it draws you to the more expensive bike potentially for people that can afford it, right? So
see, I wasn't thinking that.
You can't get that on the.
You got to buy the black trim now, and now you got to buy expensive paint, and they're trying to get premium. Oh, dude!
So you're going up like $2,900 for Whiskey Firestorm, $2,900 for Midnight Firestorm, and then $2,200 for the Mystic Shift, which is available on the other bike on the. Sorry, not the other bike, the other trim, the chrome trim. The two that aren't available are the Firestorm, Whiskey Firestorm, and
Mystic
Midnight
Shift
Firestorm.
Isn't either.
You can get that one in the.
Oh yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yep. No, hang on.
Yep, you can get that in the chrome.
Yes, good. All right. So, with that said, Lurch glossed over he said some colors there. I want to go over those colors.
Both of which I think would be badass in chrome trim.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, dude. Let's just go back to the so let me we're jumping around here. So Whiskey Firestorm, guys, is, a reddish, orangish color. It is super cool looking. Again, only available with black trim. It's got the traditional ghost flames that we saw back like on my Wide Glide, my 05 Wide Glide.
Yeah. The 2000s. Yeah.
So why would you not have that on chrome like that? So many chrome guys would buy that. I won't buy a black trim bike just to get that. If it was available on chrome, I would probably get that color. So they're losing $3,000 on me, right? Let's just say I was to buy this bike. So I get your point, but my other point is you're losing money, Harley, because a chrome guy, there's a lot of chrome guys. We ain't going black. You should see the amount of comments on my video. Absolutely, guys won't switch from chrome. So they're losing $3,000 when they could sell me a $3,000 paint job to put on my chrome bike. That would just be the argument to that. But I get it's a great point. Now they push you to black, but they have to switch people to black. And I'm just telling you, not all people will switch to black. I was surprised how many comments I got that are guys like, yeah, absolutely right. Chrome. Why are they doing this? And then you've got, the next color, that's $2,900. And then you switch to Midnight Firestorm, same exact ghost flame job with a black undercoat. So it's a black paint job and it's got these really cool silver type ghost flames. You got to go look at it. It is amazing. What was the other color, Lurch? The other one you said? Purple Abyss Denim. That's the additional color.
Yeah, so there's three. I missed that one.
Yep, and it's a denim paint. Purple. It's kind of a cool purple. I would never get another denim paint bike, though. That's just me. But if you're into denim, I'd take a look at this. Kind of a subdued purple. Well, it is denim, so it's obviously subdued. But I want to talk about we're going to do this, and then we're going to talk about Mystic Shift here.
Hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Sero 3D has products you dream about for your bike, not your bark. Check out the wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Sero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Sero 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Sero and Goldstrike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@sero3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check at your local Harley or Honda dealership and ask for Sero or Goldstrike parts. A new leader has emerged, and check out Sero 3D's custom line of Goldstrike products, the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to Law-Abiding Biker Store and check out our full line of Sero products.
All right, so we want to talk about Mystic Shift real quick. This is their newest color. So amazing. We're on the website. Now, I really need to see this. So what they say is basically this is the chameleon of all the colors. So
it's like an onyx color where it's got several colors in it depending on the angles and the lighting and all that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So they say it's got like 4 different hues. So you take it out.
I believe that.
I want to see this in light. And basically they're saying, I was reading a little bit on it, like a gunmetal look to almost an orange, depending. Yeah. It's
when the sun hits it.
Yeah. When the sun hits it, I guess it's a real chameleon. And so I am excited. We're actually going down to our dealership tomorrow, local dealership. They're not the biggest dealership around, but I'm hoping whatever bikes they have in already, we're going to try it. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, guys, and follow us over on Instagram, Law Abiding Biker, YouTube, Law Abiding Biker. We're going to be putting out some quick vids to show you these colors, and I don't want them to be indoors, so we'll get them to take them outside. And really, this one I'm super stoked to kind of see outside and give you my opinions on it. Now, this is the $2,200 paint job. But I think you'd be really happy with it. It looks cool as it sits here. But again, $2,200 is a lot, but I don't think a lot of people will swing for it. So it's probably, you won't probably find very many others in the wild. Cause it is, without doing the math, 2,200 plus 1,350 for the black, plus you're already 2,000. Yeah. We haven't talked pricing. We'll get into that. Anything else on the Mystic Shift? Your thoughts?
It's pretty neat. It's a little bit flashy for me. But if you're a paint guy and like those colors and those options, I think it's a great one. And what I was thinking is it's also an opportunity to get a unique bike, but not go all the way to CVO as well.
Right.
So you can still get something that's going to stand out in the crowd, but you're not really dropping that big chunk of change for the CVO.
Yep. And if it gets any damage, you don't have to take it to like a custom painter. It's literally Harley OEM. And so they can match it real easy. So that's kind of a benefit when you get an, OEM paint job like that, even though it is a bit custom. So let's go down the rabbit hole of pricing. And we'll get into the street road glide, guys. Don't worry. But you guys need to wait your turn. I know you're probably crying, but that's what you do. Get your emotions out. Drink your tea. Okay. So Lurch is just, all right. I'm kidding, people. I think people know.
As you're totally talking about drinking, I was thinking I need another water.
Yeah, right. Okay. I'm surprised you didn't say tea. All right. So anyways.
It's too late in the evening for tea.
If we go back to we're looking at the Street Glide still. So for the chrome billiard gray base model, 24 was $25,999. In 2024, it was $25,999. We switch over to 25, it is $27,749. So $750 more than I think I might have already said this.
You did.
Okay. I was just thinking as I was saying, I think I did it. So $750 more for the same exact bike, basically, guys. All right. So, before we go to the Road Glide, cause I love to keep Road Glide people waiting. It's good for them. Let's just go down the pricing. So I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about the Road Glide here in a minute. It's actually $2,000 more. We'll just throw it out there. $1,750 for the Street Glide. $2,000 more for the Road Glide.
And it costs more. You're talking past year. And on top of that, it's even more expensive this year. Yep. Street Glide, it's around $500 more between Street Glide and Road Glide this year.
Right.
Which is what I was mentioning earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're saying it's $1,750 for the Street Glide. more, and it's $2,000 more for a Road Glide.
Right. And in addition to that, if you were to buy a Street Glide and a Road Glide, the Road Glide this year in 2025, $500 more bucks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Just the base price.
Just the base price over the top of the Street Glide.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Good point.
Which is what I was mentioning earlier, and I think maybe you were thinking I was talking only at $500 price increase. Yeah.
Right.
In addition to the price increases, it's an additional $500 more.
Right.
At the base price than the Street Glide.
Which the Road Glide in the past was a bit more expensive. Last year is not because last year they were pushing the 24s, but traditionally the Street Glide has been more than the Road Glide has been more than the Street Glide.
Okay,
which is interesting. I'm glad you brought up that point because it's exactly what I'm going into. Okay, so I'm going to try to say this without making it sound really like non-understandable. So here's the deal: the prices have gone up. Inflation is up. Things have went up. Go to a restaurant with 2 people. You're out of there for $140 or something. I'm in other cities, and we're lower here. Mm-hmm. Other cities, it's insane. It's stopped me from eating out a lot. I mean, it's insane. Oh, yeah. I can't. I can afford it, but I can't justify this. I can go make that same bacon wrap filet mignon at my house just as well on the Traeger. So it's hard to fathom how much prices have gone up. So I expected prices to go up. Harley last year, many of us were very surprised. They really wanted to push. And so we thought their prices last year were predictably, we predicted higher prices than they were. So that was a shock. If we back up multiple years, let's not forget Harley reduced prices. They were on a particular trajectory. And that trajectory was fairly predictable for us that cover this stuff. We knew they were going to go up X amount of dollars usually each year, and we were usually right. Several years ago, Harley actually slashed prices by $3,000, which we weren't expecting at all. And a lot of people glossed over. So they brought prices back down. Now, some people argue, well, they were already too high anyways, and then they got them back to, and they were still too high even when they got them back. So whatever, you go down that rabbit hole. So they're not always raising prices. They actually dialed them back. And then, so if we look at the prices of these 25 models that are released, if you were to take that $3,000 a couple years ago off and then have the same trajectory from that point forward as we had before, these are still coming in lower than what they would have been if we would have never got the $3,000 price cut and stayed on the trajectory they were on with price increases. Clear as mud.
Yeah, absolutely. There was also, they removed a surcharge.
Does that make sense though, the way I explained it?
There's a surcharge that was added and then one was removed in there too. But yeah, definitely there, if you, on the trajectory they were going, they're in line with that or below that, right?
Right.
Below that trajectory.
If they would have never did the 3,000 price slash and stayed on the trajectory we were used to, they would be above this. So they're still below what we, years ago, what we could pretty predict that they would be. I know, just take it for what it's worth. I'm not trying to defend the price increases. I don't run the company. I don't know anything about the internals and profits and investors and whatever. I'm just take it with a grain of salt. I will say Harley is competitive within the market. You don't have a lot of choices for an American-made V-twin, people. And, you can go to Indian sometimes, but I did the review of the Pursuit. It wasn't that much less, and in some aspects, a few less things. So again, that's not an Indian Harley debate. I love the Indians. I think they're great. I've done a lot of talking about them in the past on pros and cons. Before you buy a Harley or Indian, nothing's perfect. And so they've had their issues too. Along with Harley, namely one, their ride command system, their infotainment system is more horrible than the Boombox system that Harley had a lot of problems with. So you're not going to jump the grass is greener on the other side. There's nothing perfect. You can jump back and forth and find pros and cons for both. So I don't want to get in that discussion any further. So that's the Street Glide. Now we've talked about a lot. We're going to jump over to, I know you've all been waiting. Here's your moment. Grab your tea, and put your Lululemon sweater on. And again, I'm not. It's just funny because I actually like some Lululemon, so I don't shop there.
You like my drum roll?
I got a gift once. Yeah, I did like your drum roll. That was nice. All right. So we're going to go over to there you go. Put your hands in the air. Do your little shake with your T, the Road Glide, guys. No, I will say I was, all jokes aside, absolutely phenomenal bike. So I was absolutely amazed last year when I went down to Las Vegas on the Speedway and around to ride and review the new Road Glide. I fell in love. I get the new fairing in person. Online, it wasn't so great. Once I saw it in person, I was like, oh, I get it. So I tried to truly film it and reflect that to you guys. It is growing on me. I like it. I think it's an amazing bike. I understand why so many people flock to it. They're also flocking to it because it's everywhere. They've got it in King of the Baggers, and a lot of guys want to be like that. So they've done a good job promoting that fairing and that look. And it's become very popular, and I think it's amazing. It's an amazing look and an amazing bike. So all jokes aside, I get why people want to get the Road Glide these days. And I have no problem with that. They still should choose chrome. At least they'll only be half uncool. But if you go all in, just go black. But anyways, I'm not going to talk about it a lot because it's exactly the same as the Street Glide. As far as, your options, we didn't talk about motor. You're still coming what they came out with last year. The one, again, nothing's changed. 117 Milwaukee 8, amazing motor. But when we hit black trim, of course, you're going up 1350 and you're getting the additional color options. Again, not one thing is different than we already talked about on the Street Glide. Anything else on the Road Glide there, Lurch, that you want to mention?
No, other than I'm still perplexed why it costs $500 more than the Street Glide.
It is. So your base price is $27,999 this year. In 24, it was $25,999.
$2,000.
Yep. So it's $2,000 more than the Street Glide. And you're saying the brace?
It's $2,000 more year to year, but it costs $500 more than the Street Glide.
Just the base price, right?
Yeah, just the base.
Because the base price of the Street Glide was what?
I'd have to look at it. It's $500 less than that.
So base price, billiard gray, $27,999
on the Road Glide.
Yep, keep that. You got that figure.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go to the Street Glide, $27,749. And what was the other?
Oh, 250.
250.
Okay. Sorry.
I just want to make sure.
250.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
So it's also 270 base price more on top of the price increase, right?
Yes. Year to year, it's yes.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
We've got so many numbers.
I know.
I will say that just to clear it up, the bikes are more expensive this year as compared to last year, and the Road Glide costs a little bit more over the Street Glide this year for some reason. Yeah, somewhere on that bike, there's $250 worth of something.
It's the extra big fairing.
Could be something in the fairing.
Parts,
I do know that they weigh a little bit more, so maybe there's something there. I don't know. Just seems weird to me.
It is. I agree. All right. So I think from there, Lurch, we're going to breeze through trikes because they are a smaller segment of the market. They're still important to you trike riders, but there's not as much to talk about. But I think you'll want to listen, even if you're not a trike guy. The reason is I think a little bit of what we're going to talk about can be a little bit insightful to what we believe some of the things coming on January 23rd are. You'll get, it'll come together here in a minute. So I would definitely check out this part of the episode and I wouldn't skip forward. So let's go to the trikes. We've got can you know enough about these to go over it? Because I've been talking a lot.
Pretty much. There's one thing you said that one of the bikes got that was new for this year, and I don't know that, so you'll have to pitch that.
I'll call it when you're there.
Okay. Well, basically, in a nutshell, nothing's really changed. If you look at them, you've got the Tri-Glide Ultra, the Road Glide 3. They look the same. They have the old fairing design, both of them. Then in addition to those two, you have the Freewheeler.
So just to slow you a little bit, the old fairing design Lurch is talking about, it's one of the points we're going to bring up, is it's got the Rushmore fairing, guys. So it hasn't been upgraded to the new, like on my 24 Street Glide. I know we have a lot of new listeners, and I know I sometimes want to back us up.
Okay. So and then there's the Freewheeler, which is so the Road Glide 3 and the Trike Glide Ultra both have fairings. The Trike Glide Ultra has the typical Batwing fairing. The Road Glide 3, which I actually think is kind of cool, that's just only been out for a few years, it has the Road Glide front fairing on it. But again, like Ryan said, the older version, the Rushmore versions, the Freewheeler, essentially to me looks like a Road King Special with 2 wheels on the back.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it's
your most slick streak, cut down basically.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
minimalist.
It's a non-fairing version of the Tri-Glides. So starting with the Freewheeler in particular, you're looking at $31,999 in 2025.
Didn't change. Stayed the same.
That did not change. Available only in black trim.
Been over that.
And I'm trying to find, there we go. And the colors, you got billiard gray, of course, vivid black. And if you want to be a little bit different, you only have one color other than gray and black, and that is Whiskey Fire. And that actually looks really good.
Yeah.
The gray's not bad. The gray and the black look pretty good together, all blacked out. Not for me. But that Whiskey Fire looks really good. And I'm sure folks that like that bike are also disappointed that is not available in chrome.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt. Freewheeler, let me back up a little bit here. And getting into the Road Glide 3, if I can navigate my page to it. It is coming in quite a few colors. It is available in chrome or black, which is nice. In the chrome, you've got a billiard gray, a vivid black, which is an extra $750, Whiskey Fire, an extra $1,000, Blue Burst, an extra $1,000, and I didn't mention the starting price on, but $34,999. And as compared to 2024,
I don't think it changed either, if I remember.
It did not change, so the price did not go up on that Road Glide as well.
Couple things on this, guys. So again,
in black again, you have more color options as well.
Mm-hmm. You
got your billiard gray, vivid black, onyx pearl for $1,000, purple abyss denim for $1,000, and the Whiskey Firestorm for it doesn't show a price increase in that. That's interesting. On the website, it doesn't show an increase, but that's obviously an error.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if you click over to black, just make sure yours is doing the same thing. If you go to the black trim on the left there, farther over, hit black, and then go to Whiskey Fire. Yeah, see how Whiskey Firestorm, it doesn't have
that will be 2,200, probably more because the Trike has more body.
I will say though, those neat colors like the purple abyss denim or the Whiskey Firestorm, they do look pretty cool on those bigger bikes just because there's a little bit more body to them.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple things on this to wrap up. So again, I reiterate, a lot of people will not be happy, and I've already seen it online, that the Trikes didn't get the conversion to the new fairings, new tanks, new body style. You are going to be rocking the older Rushmore fairing if you want to get that Road Glide 3. Now, another thing on this is very thing to point out that's actually positive is the Road Glide 3 came out just a couple of years ago. It was the first time Harley-Davidson ever made a trike with the shark nose fairing. Additionally, all you trendy black trim people, this is the first year that it's ever been offered with black trim. So although the fairing's older, a lot of people will be happy that the black trim is now available on the Road Glide 3. Okay. Anything else?
Nope. Moving on to the Tri-Glide Ultra. Again, the price doesn't change on that. $37,999 for the starting price. It also is available in a chrome or a black trim. In the chrome, you got the billiard gray.
You want to explain to people what the Tri-Glide Ultra is real quick before you go through colors?
Yeah, it's basically an Ultra with 2 wheels on the back. So it's
an Ultra Limited. It's the Batwing fairing. I'm trying to put a visual. Yeah,
exactly. I'll get there.
Okay.
As opposed to the Road Glide 3 that has the Batwing or the shark nose fairing. This bike, the Ultra, has the Batwing fairing. It essentially looks like an Electric Glide Ultra. It's got it's the full touring bike with the Batwing. It's got the extra passing lamps on the front. The full lower fairings. It's got not just a trunk, but it's got the rider backrest. It is the big full touring bike. For somebody that wants a trike.
Nice.
And in chrome, you can get in the billiard. Vivid black costs you an extra $850. Iron Horse Metallic 1200, and then you can get the Whiskey Fire. And this is a little bit different on this bike because it's bigger. They've got a Whiskey Fire and a Vivid Black combo. Pretty neat. They've got the black is the inset. The main part of the bike
nice.
is red with black insets, and that's in chrome. Then you step on over to the black trim. You got, of course, Billy Gray, Vivid Black, Extra 850, Atlas Silver Metallic for 1200. But then again, you get cooler color choices in the black trim, which is strange. But you've got the Whiskey Fire and Vivid Black, like on the previous bike. But then in addition to that, you got Iron Horse Metallic with a Vivid Black for an extra $2,000. And then they have the Mystic Shift available, 2,800.
Yeah, see more because there's more paint surface.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the one Trike that got a little bit of an upgrade. It does look pretty cool if you look at previous, but it got new, larger wheels.
Oh, so, the back?
So back and front.
Oh, yeah.
So back, you're at an 18-inch wheel now, and the front, you move to a 19-inch wheel.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can see that. It looks a lot
Can't
better.
you, though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm flipping back and forth between the two, and that is nice.
It is a nice look.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one upgrade that pretty much that we can talk about. So that's Trikes, guys. Not a lot changed. Again, the older Rushmore fairing batwing you're getting on this. It's the older fairing look. And, it's not a deal breaker for me. I love the older look of the fairing. It stood for many years. But if you really jonesing for that new fairing redesign and tank and all that, then you're going to be a little bit disappointed on that. All right. Now we're going to move in to basically our tie it up and based on a lot of information, kind of what we're looking at for the releases on the 23rd and some leaks and I have some things I want to talk about still, of course, as I always do.
Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin, hospital-grade seat cushion that's made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those vibrations.
I like my ass tickled.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Good ass tickle.
Who doesn't? With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have a comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to the Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
All righty then. Here we go. Let me make sure we're to the right area. All right. So some things. We'll try to keep this fairly succinct, but it's a lot to talk about. It's fun. Me and Lurch always give some predictions. So on January 23rd, Harley-Davidson is expected to unveil more models, changes. Here's what to watch for. So some questions. And here is the deal. Lurch.
Okay.
One of the biggest questions that I have and everybody has, and me and you have had for some time, is, are they going to get... So what we're missing right now from the touring lineup is your Road Glide Limited and your Ultra Limited. Road Glide Limited, of course, Shark Nose full touring, and your Ultra Limited full Batwing touring.
Mm-hmm, correct.
Number one is... The first question is, are they going to get the new fairings? Okay. With the new fairing redesign. Because a lot of people were upset because in 24, to take you back, is we got the new Street Glide and Road Glide with the new whole fairing redesign. The Ultra Limited and Road Glide Limited did not. They got the old Rushmore fairings. A lot of people were pissed off about that.
Yep. And they had some touring packages to put on your Street Glide and Road Glide to make them limiteds and ultras, which led to some other quandaries and suggestions, things that might happen this year.
Which is good.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that.
Okay. I figured you might.
So that's the first question to the Ultra or to the Limiteds. The second question is, are they going to axe them completely?
Right.
And as Lurch and I have discussed in the past, to bring you up to speed, if they do axe the Limiteds, then are they going to allow you to purchase a la carte on the website and basically take your base Street Glide or Road Glide and convert them via parts a la carte into a full touring? Thus you walk out of the dealership once you add all the parts with a full limited edition. So those are two of the questions. I am going to go out on a limb here.
Okay.
And then we've got more discussion.
Mm-hmm.
and see if you agree with me.
I've got my thought in my head. What's going to happen?
I am telling you that the Road Glide, the limiteds are gone.
Oh.
They're axing them completely. They will not have a Road Glide or a Ultra Limited anymore. I'll back that up in a second. Okay. But what do you think?
Well, you might have some information or heard some stuff that I'm not aware of. I was thinking that because they only released the Road Glide Street Glide and the Road King Special, that there will be on this next launch an Ultra Limited and a Road Glide Limited.
Okay. All right. Good to know. We will discuss it further and see. You may or may not change your mind. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here to present information.
I have an open mind, and once I hear some new information, I may change it.
Okay. So like we say, they may be phased out. So here, with that said, that's going to lead me into this.
Okay.
So there has been a leak, and
oh Lord,
yes, and it's not in Lurch's pants, which is usually where he leaks.
That could happen. I'm getting older.
Yes, it's true. This is true. So I'm going to go into our notes, and I have this open. This isn't the only article. There's been some other articles, and let me cancel that. Give me a second, people. I love.
I just went down to no thanks, and it went away. If I clicked the no thanks, oh, you're going to use your little.
Let me get rid of that one too. Oh, let me get rid of all these. Yeah, it's great. Using Safari, I can just crush away all the advertisements with a click of a mouse. Done. Look at that. Okay, so here's the deal. So it was earlier, about December, just after Christmas, we got some information, and this is from Australia, I believe.
Which, if this is true, is funny because that's where some of the leaks. It seems like they kind of screw up on. I
don't know that they screw up. They can't do anything about this.
I'm just going back to like the Pan America, where there was some stuff, some stuff in the P&A catalog for like a 975 Pan America, which got everybody thinking, oh, they're definitely making a 975.
Yep. Right.
So I was curious if this was something like that.
I think this is, so as we get into this, I think it'll have more weight. So they've been, obviously Harley, we know they try to stay tight-lipped, but they sell these in different countries, and different countries have different rules. But we can confirm at this time that the lineup for the FLH, there'll be a new model, and it's added, and I'll explain how this was found out here as we go down this. But there's a new model that's been leaked, and it's called the FLHXU. We have to believe that is a FLHX is a Street Glide. You add the U, it's an Ultra. Okay. So it'll be a Street Glide Ultra is what it's going to be. All right. So with that said, take that for what it's worth. I'm going to try to not muddy this up too much. So, the FLHX, we know that the Street Glide, you add a U, that's what we're thinking. Okay. And you guys already know, I'm just reading through this. You already know what your Ultras are. You've got your trunk, your, all that extra stuff, the backrest, like we said, it's a full touring model. So, what was leaked here is, let me get down to that part of the article. So how this got found out, oh, dang it. Give me a second. Some
filings in Australia called homologation. HOMOLOGATE.
Homologation is how you say it.
Okay. Not homologation?
Don't get ahead of me here.
Homologation.
It's homologation.
Sure.
All right. So let me.
It's more fun the way I say it.
It is. Let's get rid of this. Bear with me, folks, here. I screwed up. What paragraph were you? So I'm catching back up now. Where were you?
Oh, just it's like the third paragraph down.
So the first updated. And if you don't know what homologation is, filings in Australia, this was for Harley-Davidson touring models. Basically, it means it was approved by a court or a judge. Is basically what that was.
Road vehicle type approvals.
Yep. So we see in here these documents that have been photographed. Is the you've got all your regular, FLHXS, FLTRK, Trikes, FLHX, your Street Glide, and then in there is the new highlighted one, which is FLHXU.
Which is new.
Which is brand new, never had that model before. There's actually a couple different, and then there's details, and it goes down on to say 25 or later, FLHXU. So they're filing in Australia for that, for a new model. And those documents do exist. And so it is confirmed. Are we right on the exact model? I think we are, because it would make no sense that you would call it the FLHX when that's already the street glide and then add a U to it. So that is the leaked information that seems to be confirmed. With that said, I back up to what I was saying a minute ago. And if I go down here, so there's already an FLTRU, which is a Road Glide Ultra, FLTRU, right? And now they do FLHXU.
So instead of just having a electric glide, what they used to call an electric glide Ultra Limited, you're switching to a street glide Ultra Limited.
Yes.
Okay.
Ultra.
That doesn't necessarily to me mean that the street glide's going away, or
right.
that the Ultra as we know it may be going away.
Right.
But is it really? It's going to look a little different. Okay, this is fun. So
yeah, I know.
If they make a street glide,
this changes your mind a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes and no.
Right.
I think the Road Glide and the Road Glide Limited. I don't think the Road Glide Limited is going away. I think we're going to see it with the new fairing. But the Ultra Glide, as you know it, the Electric Glide Ultra Classic or Ultra Limited, that is. I think you're right. I think that's going away, and it's going to be replaced with the Street Glide Ultra. And the real difference is going to be just some of the. Probably won't have lowers on it because we don't need that anymore. It's probably just going to look a little more like a street glide. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does.
I think it's going to look.
Disagreement.
I think it's going to look like that with a hard mounted trunk on it.
Well, you can just already add the trunk though.
You can, but you can do that now.
Right. I know.
But think about it. Think about the older bikes. Think about the Ultra Limited, the Electric Glide Ultra Limited right now, and a street glide. There's not a huge difference.
No, there never has been. Neither with the Road Glide Limited. It's a fucking Road Glide with a trunk.
Right.
And lowers. Right.
Correct. So you can turn your street glide into essentially an Ultra.
Correct.
Ultra. But the differences is now you get the new body style. I don't think they're making any of the old body style stuff anymore. They're probably not going to have the lower fairings because you don't need the radiators in there. I could see why you would transition away and only produce the street glide Ultra Limited. It's going to be the same but different. Does that make sense? Am I explaining it right?
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I definitely hear what you're.
I don't think it's going to come with a detachable trunk and all that, where you say they just give you the parts and you go out the door. I think it's going to be an actual street glide, Ultra Limited.
Okay,
and the Electric Glide, Ultra Limited, and Ultra Classic are probably going away. It's going to be based off this. It's going to be based off the Street Glide platform instead of the Electric Glide platform. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I totally hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot in the air, but I get what you're saying. So you did change your mind a bit with that information.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which is good.
With the Batwing fairing particularly.
Yep.
That Ultra is going to be based off the Street Glide and not the Electric Glide.
So because we already have a Harley-Davidson Ultra Limited. The Road Glide Ultra is the I already said that.
Yeah.
So that to me, we already have the FLTRU, and that's exactly what I'm thinking too, is now we're going to have, it's just either going to be Street Glide platform or Road Glide platform. Right. So I'm with you on that.
Ooh, does that mean the Electric Glide platform is going away?
I do believe so. Because there would be no reason to keep it.
Because if you're getting rid of the the Electric Glide Ultras,
correct,
and the Limiteds,
and they have been downsizing their whole line, and it makes manufacturing easier.
So police bikes and
just
in the future maybe a Street Glide or Road Glide, depending on.
Well, they already have both.
Right.
They already have a Road Glide police bike.
They just don't have a Street Glide.
They just don't have the Street Glide. They have the Electric Glide, which is a Street Glide that sits 2 inches higher.
And a little bit different stuff. Different things here and there.
Yeah. So it makes total sense to me, and that was what I was thinking. And I didn't say this on the video because I didn't have this information at the time. So you get more on the podcast a lot of times, but that was my takeaway. And that's why I put that in the notes, is that they already have the FLRTU. So it makes perfect sense that they're going to have the FLHX. And so I believe the Road Glide Ultra is going to be exactly. So I think it's going to have lowers and everything.
You do?
Well, the Road Glide does.
Well,
the Road Glide Limited has everything. So why would they make this? They're just getting rid of the Electra. Let's look at Harley and let's look
That'd be disappointing. So you think they'll stay with the old body style? The Road Glide will just continue on with the old body style and all that old fairing design?
Well, this doesn't have anything to do with fairings.
Right.
Right.
But you said lowers and stuff though. I don't, there's no need for lowers on the newer Road Glide and Street Glide. So I wonder
why.
because it doesn't need the it doesn't.
That's not what they're there for. They're to block rain and weather. That's always been there. That has nothing to do with radiator. Came later. They had lowers long before radiators.
I understand, but that's not what they're being used for today in the newer bikes. They've got radiators in them.
Well, I know.
Okay.
So what? So just take the radiators out of them, and you still have lowers. We had lowers.
Maybe.
Hell, we had lowers back in.
Well, I understand that it's easy to say just take it out, but from a manufacturing standpoint, does it? What?
Well, they had to redesign them all anyways. So if these are getting the new fairings, so I just want you to look at a Road Glide Ultra.
Yeah.
Okay. It has everything.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So they're not changing that. This is already an FL TRU. So why would they make it FLHXU and then, but we're not going to put lowers on it? No, they're going to make a full touring. It's just going to be a Street Glide instead of Electra.
You think there'll be lowers on the Street Glide version?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be a full touring. They're not getting rid of this. Dude, people would get pissed if they got rid of their, it would be a crazy move in my opinion. I could be wrong, but they already have this. All they're going to do, this will still be the FLTRU for the Road Glide. They're just going to put the new fairing on it.
And I wonder,
and they're going to do that with the
they're going to put the old crash bars on it, so you can have those types of fairings.
I'm sorry,
those are different crash bars on the Ultras.
I don't care what crash bars that's a total redesign.
Yeah, this is just good conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Are they going to have them or not? And I don't know. My guess is no.
They're not going to have what?
Any lowers on the Ultra. That's my guess.
So there's your prediction.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun. Yeah. I like it. No, I think that would really piss a lot of people off because your full Ultra has this.
Right.
You can do the extra speakers. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're ever getting rid of their full touring bike.
I'm kind of torn because I'm in the...
I know. I get what you're saying.
The reason I'm getting into all this is because I'm looking for a new bike in 25 most likely. We'll see. But...
Because you can always buy the trunk. You can do that yourself. Just go to the parts catalog and get your own trunk. And then that's the same thing. But to make it a full touring...
There's a little more than just putting the trunk on. You got the lights, you got the solid mount and all that kind of stuff. What I'm trying to get to is I'm considering, depending on what the Road Glide Ultra or Limited looks like, I might go that route versus a Road Glide and add the extra stuff on. So I'm kind of curious how it's all going to work out.
Well, again, if you're taking away the lowers, you only need to add a trunk and a backrest. And it seems like Harley wouldn't make another model for that. They would just do a Street Glide and you just add a trunk and you don't have to add anything else. Really what makes it a full touring is the ability to your glove compartments in the lowers. You can put speakers in your lowers. They cover your legs for those long distance rides. They keep you from rain. They keep you from snow. I'm just arguing the other point.
I hear you.
To me, that would be foolish. Hey, we're going to sell you an FLHXXU. What's different? It's got a trunk.
And this is
couldn't I have just bought a trunk?
Going back to previous conversations and podcasts and whether or not the Ultra was going away, we were talking about how would they get those lowers on there. You got a different design on the front end now. You got a radiator in the front. You got that scoop. I mean, it's just a different bike in the front there around the front of the motor.
So let's look at this is a great conversation, by the way.
Well, it can be done. It's just whether or not
it's easy. It's just put it on the same crash bars. You just design a new lower. They got to redesign the fairing. They already redesigned the tank, the bags. I mean, you just make a new lower fairing that goes over the crash bars.
Which is why I'm saying from a manufacturing standpoint, it makes more sense just to make one bike. And not add all that extra stuff onto it potentially. So I'm kind of curious because if they're calling a Street Glide Ultra,
that's just because they're getting rid of the line.
But it also leaves open the opportunity to change some stuff.
Sure,
it's obviously going to have different back end. It's probably going to have the filler panel, all the lighting and stuff. The same is going to be the same as Street Glide. If it's based on a Street Glide platform, my guess is that it's going to have the same crash bars and no fairing. No lower fairings. Okay. That's just my opinion because they're basing it on the Street Glide.
Right.
So if they do the Road Glide, I'm curious.
But they already did the Road Glide Ultra and it has lowers.
But
it's not really.
There's no 2025 Road Glide Ultra. We're making. We're guessing what it's going to be.
Yes.
There's no guarantee it's going to have any lower fairings. Right. It may look like a Road Glide with this hard mounted trunk on it.
Right.
And the crash bars and some of this other stuff. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah. So my prediction is exactly what I said. Is that it will definitely be a touring because it doesn't make any sense to me that they would go, let's make a Street Glide and call it an FLHXU. What'd you do to it? We put a trunk. You made a whole new model for a bike with a trunk when you've been selling trunks. I did it on my bike. That's an FLHXU. You're looking at it. Minus the lowers, which I think obviously.
Yeah.
But I totally get it's a great conversation. It'll be fun to see.
Yeah, because if you get a Street Glide Ultra, it's going to have a hard-mounted trunk on it with lights. It's going to have
it's got a tail light.
It's going to have passenger speakers.
Yes, that's
all that
big
kind of stuff. So it's different enough that that's my prediction.
Right.
If they're going to call a Street Glide Ultra, it's going to look like your bike, but it's going to have
a trunk.
a trunk and
with a tail light,
and it's going to have the speakers in the rear. Maybe it's going to come with crash bars, saddlebag crash bars, all that. It'll basically be what the Ultra is today with the new fairing design, but I think personally, minus the lower fairings.
Okay, there we go.
I hope I'm wrong.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no clue, dude. Yeah. I'm just going off. Yeah. I'm looking at it from we look at it from different angles, and honestly, I have no idea. Because I think people will be. I'll tell you this. I think that's a really bad move for Harley if they do that. Yeah. People. Yeah. You want to hear the outcry from that? Because your full touring guys with their wives on the back, they have that lower, it offers a lot of protection. Absolutely. For full touring. Yeah. That's why a lot of people,
long legs, I'd like to see it go away.
Right. No, and I get it from a personal, I'm just saying, I'm trying to keep it from a manufacturing standpoint.
I hear you.
It'll be interesting to see. I know we've hashed it. These are fun conversations. We love these conversations because it's fun to try to predict. But I'm curious. I know a lot of you out there are having thoughts as we're bringing this up on your opinions. So head over to the YouTube video, comment over there, guys, on what you think. We're having some good conversations over there. So
I hadn't thought about this at all. This is all new to me in my brain because I was thinking either they're just going to axe it or it's going to be the same bike with the new fairing design. But the fact that they're calling it Street Glide Ultra instead of a Electric Glide Ultra
makes sense.
If that's the case, then that this is my first thoughts on this. 100%.
No, this is what's awesome. I'm
thinking if it's
that's why I didn't talk to you about this morning. I wanted to. Yeah,
good. I'm glad you didn't. If it's Street Glide Ultra, I think it's going to be something in between what we're used to seeing from a Street Glide and Ultra Limited. It's going to be something in between. It may not have the lower fairings, and yes, they may be.
So the question,
a poor decision, but we'll see.
So the question is, what's your prediction? Are they cutting the Electro line?
Yes.
Okay. And then your second prediction, just to make sure I understand, is they're going to make a Street Glide with a trunk, no lowers, and that they're going to call it an FLHXU.
Yes.
Okay. I'm under the same exact predictions. The only thing I predict different is that it will be the FLHXU will be a full touring, which meaning it will have lowers. It'll be just like it'll be like the Ultra Limited, just like it stands now. But they're just condensing their entire factory and line. They're getting rid of Electra, so they're just which it always was anyways. It was a Street Glide Ultra anyways. It looks exactly the same. It sat like an inch higher. They're just downsizing. They're going to have both touring models, your Road Glide Limited, your Street Glide Limited, essentially, Ultra, and they'll keep it at that. Now, the other question, are they getting the new fairings? Third.
Yes.
They're getting the total redesign, both the Road Glide and the Street Glide Ultra and the Road Glide Ultra. Okay.
And just to add a little bit to what you said there, yes, by going to a Street Glide Ultra, they're definitely streamlining their manufacturing process. And they could streamline it further by not having larger crash bars and lower fairings. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. It'd probably be a bad decision because that is that's the full touring model, meaning it's got the lower fairings and all that. So yeah, it probably makes sense to have it on it. I'm just thinking from a purely manufacturing streamlined process, it would be smarter for them manufacturing wise to not put it. It would probably be smarter sales wise to have it on there. So I'm curious to see what they do if this comes to fruition, what they do and how they do it.
Yep. Indian would love it if they didn't put lowers on their full touring bike because Indian would eat that alive, making full touring bikes with lowers.
But burn your feet when you're
right. I'm just saying, bad industry move. But Harley's made bad decisions before. Sure. And maybe there's more to it than we know. But
sometimes you look at things purely on paper and go, it makes more sense to streamline this because we're going to save this amount of money. But you also have to consider the human factor. What you're saying is you cut that lower fairing and larger crash bar, you may be pissing off a lot of people. So it may be worth the investment in the manufacturing process to keep it.
Yep. Yeah. Yes, this is a fun episode. It's
going to be fun.
The other thing
I wasn't really looking forward to this year because I figured they did so much last year. There wouldn't be a lot of new stuff, but now I'm looking forward to it.
And the other thing I'll only say on that, which is interesting, is I just can't fathom, because when these bikes come out, a lot of us are going to get to ride and review them. I'm fairly confident of that. It would be really weird to invite us to. They did the Street Glide and Road Glide last year because of the redesigns. That was huge. To invite us or whoever goes to go ride a Street Glide with the trunk.
Yeah,
it would have to be. We've already promoted all of our Street Glide and Road Glide. Now we're going to do our full touring. Right. In my mind, that's the only reason I think. But again, it'll be a good conversation.
Yeah, I'd like to see what the cost is too.
Yes,
because is it more economical for me as a customer to buy a Road Glide and put a trunk on it, or is it better to buy a Road Glide Ultra? How does it stack up in pricing? Right. That'll make my decision too, because now essentially the Road Glide is, there's no more specials anymore. It's got the it's got the
streamlined
13-inch.
We've seen this.
Yeah, it's got the full 13-inch shocks and all that kind of stuff. So again, like you said, what you got out there in the garage right now is basically an Ultra minus the lowers, but you can take your trunk on and off. And I will go that route if it's more cost effective. But if it's not, I might go with a limited.
Right, but you can buy a detachable trunk for your Ultra too.
Yeah, you can buy the kit.
Some guys do, so they can. I've seen them strip them down. So, but I get it. See,
all right. I'm kind of excited now.
I am. I'm really excited. I'm glad.
I wasn't.
I'm glad these deep conversations. We have fun here, guys. So here, I'm going to throw another mix in it. Do you have a hard stop?
Not a hard stop. At your watch, but getting there.
Okay. Well, let me know if there's a hard stop.
Dinner's at 6.
Okay. All right. So this is one more wrench in it that may make you think. So I did some even further research. This is on my own. If we go back, Lurch, to the Street Glide here, and so we were talking that you might be able to a la carte this on your, so take a Street Glide 25 and you can a la carte it into an Ultra. They have taken that ability away. I went to the 24s, you can get a lot of the stuff. When you go to the 25, you scroll down, customize your dream bike. You go all there is no trunks. There's none of the touring stuff for the 25 a la carte. You can get ST package and performance parts and carbon fiber parts, but you cannot from this page build this out to be an Ultra.
Yeah,
go to 24. You can.
Yeah, you'd have to go to the parts catalog and order stuff. Yeah,
which makes me believe
they're trying to push you into
that they're making a full Ultra. Okay. They're not going to let you a la carte this because there's a model for that. There's already going to be a new model for that in 25. So there's no reason for you to a la carte an Ultra. Right. We're going to do it for you. You're either going to get a Street Glide. So I think they're changing because you go to 24, you can do it.
Yeah.
Same bike. I just don't think they've pulled it from 24 because they still want people 24s to be able to deck them out as an Ultra. But come 25, if you actually want an Ultra, you can just get one, the FLHXU.
Yeah.
Or whatever, regardless of the lowers.
And yes, to clarify, you'll still be able to buy detachable trunks for a 2025 Street Glide, Road Glide and do it. Yes. They're just not going to direct you to do it by customizing on the page there where you go to buy a bike. Yeah.
Correct. Because that would be a Street Glide with a trunk, not a full touring. Right. Yep.
Okay. So yep. Okay.
It's just interesting. Mm-hmm. All right. Whew. A lot, guys. I hope you're having fun. I hope you're in your mind mulling stuff over. So we're going to get close to wrapping this up. I just want to go through these notes here real quick, Lurch. All right. So the other thing I want to say is make sure you stay tuned to the YouTube channel, and we will do a follow-up podcast, but it's usually days later. Mm-hmm. Right after, remember, the launch, which we're going to have to talk about exactly how we're going to do this because it's weird. It's at 5. It's usually in the morning. It's at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I will need some hazard pay for working in the dark.
And overtime.
Is it that late? I didn't know. It was in the morning. All right.
They've always done it in the mornings. I didn't mention that up front.
During the week?
Whatever January 23rd is, I'll let you look at that.
Yeah.
So remember, guys, January 23rd, Wednesday. 5 o'clock p.m. Wednesday, Central Standard Time. With that said,
they're hoping you have cocktails probably.
Yes. Of course, right after that launch, me and Lurch will be working for the next 14 hours of whatever. We're going to, as we always do, guys, because they're big fluffed up productions from a company that's trying to push bikes. We'll sift through them. We'll look at everything. We will do a very succinct video on getting rid of all the fluff and whatever celebrities or people they think that are cool that they want to have on there. We'll get rid of all the fluff for you, and we will break it down in a YouTube video at the Law Abiding Biker YouTube channel very quickly. What you need to know, what changed, what are the big announcements, and again, get rid of all the fluff for you and do it law-abiding biker style. And that way you don't have to bore yourself through the whole video on a lot of it because they can get rather long and with people and shots. So with that said, that video will come out like as quick as we can record it and produce it. So subscribe, hit the bell icon. And then of course, Within a couple days, we'll record a podcast episode and we release it in long form content. So you'll get it both ways.
And those are fun because then we can talk about our predictions, who was wrong, who was right.
There you go. Yeah.
With, we were both
Which
right,
we did last year.
Yeah, it's fun.
We'll do it on video too.
Yeah.
It'll probably be me and Lurt sitting at the computer again like we did last year, remember?
Yeah.
And then we can talk about, well, I predicted, and we'll have a lot of fun there. But we'll bash each other more on a podcast because we have more time.
More time to do it.
We won't bash each other. These are all literally, I don't invest too much in them. It's just fun. We don't even put money on the line. It's just fun to banter a little bit and try to figure out what's going on with the new models. So yeah, very cool, guys. Now we appreciate our patron members up front. We want you to become a patron member. We want to get you benefits, of course. Want to get to know you better in the private Facebook group. But hey, the only way you can support us or want to support us is through a flat donation. We never balk. At a flat donation, I want to thank the following people.
We'd like to thank Ryan Lambright of Shishwana, Indiana. He made a substantial donation and left a message. He said, "Thank you for all the great content in the podcasts and videos. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year."
Thank you very much.
Donald Plowman of Sparks, Nevada, and James Jetton of Bourbonnais, Illinois.
There you go. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. That's /donate. That's right. Donate to us, guys. It helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
So we can keep this thing running on down the road.
And you can also go to the homepage, lawabidingbiker.com. And of course, there's a huge donate button right there. That was a long one, guys. We've done longer. But
I don't think it would have been as long if you didn't drop that bombshell on me. I was
know.
aware of. Got me thinking.
Well, it was in the show notes.
Spinning.
You clearly didn't go through the show notes on the main topic that I prepared for you before. I was kind of glad.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to. I almost pulled it out and hit it, but I was like, if he gets to it, he gets to it. So I kind of was hoping you didn't get to it.
No, I'd missed that little nugget of information. I had all the other stuff. But.
It makes for a good conversation there, right? And makes us change our minds a little bit on what's going on. And in fact, when I did the video, like I say, I didn't even know that leak and some of that information. And then I was doing a deep dive, and then I got on the website. I was like, plus you can't a la carte anymore. And I just stumbled on that. I was like, well, if they're going to do the Ultra, can you a la carte it still? And I was like, gone. Went to 24. It's there. Can't do it anymore. So we'll be, stay tuned, guys. A lot. Of course, it's the beginning of the year. We just get out of 24, and it's always like this. Bam, we are right back heavy into Harley releases. A lot more coming this year. Don't forget, we got to start. We didn't do it. Can you make a note for the next podcast, like ASAP? We need to do a whole podcast on the Canada trip. Okay. Patron, we have an actual day. We're not going to mention it here. In the next podcast, we got to make an ad for it. It's going to be in Canada. We'll give you the exact dates, times, general locations.
July 14th through the 24th.
Yep, that's the trip, but I'm talking about the actual Patron Day meetup we'll be giving you guys. We'll be giving you the details about what times, about what areas, all like we usually do, because we just planned our trip, and it will be up in the Canada area. But again, we need to get on that. I should have did it this episode. We should have given you some of the details, but that's all right. I don't want to ad-lib it because I want it to be correct. Remember, we are still looking at this time for somebody in the Western Alberta area. That's where the general meetup's going to be. So we're looking for any patrons around there, Calgary, anywhere around there, or west. We need a Canadian patron member, or if you want to do this, become a patron member. We need help. We need help organizing the ride, the event, the venue. No cost to you. It's just, we just need your help. Because, you're more familiar with the area, and you're better at planning a really cool ride. We are going to have the patron ride and meetup. So please, if you're a Canadian member anywhere in that area, or a Canadian that's going to become a member here, we'd like to hook up with you, pick your brain, get you involved, because it just makes the events that much better when we have a local person from that area involved. And up to this point, we always have. We came close one year, but somebody stepped up at the end. So us planning it from afar is a little bit more difficult. So please hit us up. It's a lot of talk in there, Lurch.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
It was a fun one. I like your predictions, dude. Now I'm going to just go back and forth. Laters.